Hello everyone, it's Dr. Sam. I'd like to welcome you to my EyeClarity Podcast. This is a show that offers cutting-edge information on how to improve your vision and overall wellness through holistic methods. I so appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you have questions, you can send them to hello@drsambyrne.com. Now, to the latest EyeClarity episode. Now, another main area that you're going to be touching is this area here. This brings in the polyvagal theory. This is the vagus nerve, very involved in our nervous system and how we're able to relax ourselves. So when we are on the floor and we're making the puffed O sound, we start here and then we move into the spirals and then we move into this area right here. This is called the governing vessel. This is an acupuncture meridian. We're going to do some puffed O's here, and then we're going to do some puffed O's here. This is called the conception vessel. These are acupuncture points. So by putting the sound into these areas, you're going to activate these acupuncture points, and you do a few puffed O's here. You can do some circles in this area. Say your thyroid needs a little help. Okay, so that again, you're doing the O's into here, and then you're doing a kind of a figure eight all the way down until you get to this area. This is a major lymph area. This is called, obviously, the groin, but it's a major lymph area. One of the keys in neuroplasticity is activating your lymph system. That's here and your groin. So you're going to make the sound, do some spirals here, some spirals here, some spirals here, and then crisscross your way down to the groins while you're making the puffed O sound. So you're going to really activate this whole energy channel, which is going to increase the balance of the nervous system, the fluid body, and each person is going to do it a little differently. All right, let's go back to the puffed O sound. Do we let our mouth be loose or hold it firm? You can keep it loose. You don't need to keep it firm. And let me demonstrate the puffed O sound again. It's think about O. I'm going to make an O sound. O, O. And I'm just closing my mouth. There's still some air coming through it. Think about blowing out a candle. You blow out a candle, a little air comes out, and then you just add the O sound. Now, if you're really confused about this, what you can do is just make a humming sound like this. So if you don't get the puffed O, just do a hum. That would be another way for you to get the sound going. The sound is so important because it activates the tissue. It activates the connective tissue, the fascia, the lymph, the cerebral spinal fluid, the nerves, the muscles. I mean, you're getting a lot of activation there. So that's the sound part of it. The first is the zzz. You're going to be sitting up. The second will be the puffed O, and you're going to be doing this movement, and you're going to be doing something with your feet. So I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into position where I'm going to demonstrate this. So you can watch me do it, and then we'll cut you loose and let you kind of explore it on your own. This is a very non-linear process in that, you know how most classes, you go to a yoga class or you go to a fitness class and you have to copy the teacher. You got to follow the teacher. This is about you following your own rhythm, following your own kind of speed and flow with it. So you have a structure to work on, but you go at your own speed. You don't have to copy the teacher. That's going to help you become more self-directed. I mean, it's a radical idea because we're always taught to be in obedience school. I need to copy the teacher. I need to do what the teacher says. And in this particular level of neuroplasticity, it's about you using these techniques, these prompts, to help you find your own rhythm. All right, I'm going to turn the computer around. All right, so this is the first part of this. You can see that this is kind of by where I'm going to be laying down. Okay. So the first thing I do is I take a baseline of my breathing. So I'm sitting in my chair, I close my eyes, and I'm just taking a baseline of my breathing. Kind of in silhouette here. Let me close the windows. Okay, so I'm getting a baseline of my breathing. And some things to look for in the breathing would be, what is my inhale? What is my exhale? Am I breathing in a shallow way? Am I breathing in a deep way? What's going on there? So I take about maybe 20 to 30 seconds. And I notice that I'm getting some movement in my diaphragm. Most of my breathing is kind of in this area. I've been talking a lot. So it's not that long, deep, slow breathing. All right, here's the first part. I'm going to do the Jacques sound and watch what I'm doing with my head. And so it will go like this. My eyes are closed. I'm lightly touching around my head. You can even rock a little bit forward and backwards or side to side while you're making the movement. I'm going to do 3 here. You can see it doesn't matter which hand you put. So now you're working with the frontal brain and the back part of the brain. Okay, and then last, you can put your hands on top of your head if you want to. Then I drop my hands, my eyes are closed, and I'm going to go into this open attention. This is the part of the practice where I'm really listening to myself. Okay, what am I noticing? What am I feeling? What am I sensing? Open attention is the opportunity to digest or metabolize the sound that I put into my brain. And I'm noticing my head is pulsing. I'm noticing that I'm getting some relaxation in my eyes and my face. I notice that my breathing is a little deeper. So it's an awareness game. I'm just saying, wow, this sound has really opened up my head area. This is very cool. Okay, now, once I've spent about 1 minute or so in open attention, I'm going to now move to the second part, which is I'm going to lie down. Okay, so I'm lying down. My eyes are closed. You can either have your feet up, you can use a bolster, whatever you want to do. Your legs can be. So now, I'm just going to move back a little bit. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to start at the temples and I'm going to move them towards my eyes and I'm going to make some circulation in my eyes, some spiral movements. Then I'm going to move to the upper lip and the lower lip. I'm going to make some small spiral movements there, spiral movements in my neck area. Then I'm going to come down my body to here, making the puffed O sound. I'm going to just do several of them. So as I'm lying here, I'm just kind of connecting my body with the ground. How much of my body is connected? Is my back curved? I'm not getting my back. Is it, what part of my body is contacting with the ground? That's kind of important. All right, so I'm going to start the puffed O sound. If you can't do the O sound, you can do the humming sound, whichever you'd like to do. So I'm going to start at my temples, and then I'm going to go through the sequence all the way down to my groins. Oh. 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 Okay, now another place that you can accent is your belly button. This is called the second brain, the enteric brain. So you can spend some time in this area. Let's say you want to work more with the vagus nerve or you want to work more in this area. You can spend more time doing more touch and puffed O's. Or let's say you want to spend more time around your eyes. I know some of you have got some eye conditions you want to do. So you can vary how many puffed O's you want to do. All right? All right, now, the last part is using your feet. So your left foot is straight and your right foot is bent. And you're going to be tracing your foot up the leg like this while you're doing the puffed O's. So it could look something like this. Oh. I stop my foot each time I stop the puffed O. Oh. Oh. Okay. Now what I do is I straighten my right leg and I just compare what I feel in my right leg and my left leg. Then I repeat where I now have my left leg on top of my foot, and I'm going to be tracing it up the leg while I'm making the puff dough or the humming sound. Okay, very good. I straighten my leg and now I just make a comparison. What am I feeling in the lower part of my body? Well, I feel a lot of energy in my legs and my feet. There's a lot of acupuncture meridians in this area that affect the digestive system, the brain, the eyes. So you're activating that by tracing your foot up each leg while you're making the sound. Now, if there's time, you can go back and redo the sequence with the puff doughs. Okay, if you've got the time, spend some time on the belly button, the groin, and then you can do this again. So you're layering the experience, which allows you to go deeper in the nervous system and the fluid body. So it activates a deeper level of neuroplasticity. The ultimate, when you do this on your own, is to be able to do this 3 times, 3 cycles, and then you end by coming back in the chair and repeat the so you're making a full circle, and then you take a final baseline. So going down again, you're basically making like a figure 8. So it's basically a figure 8 sound, a figure 8 movement. Think of it like an S on either side, and you're just kind of connecting in the middle. The tempo of the circles can be very slow. You could actually make very tiny circles. You can make very big circles. You could stay in one position. So this is where it becomes your expression on what you feel you need. Maybe people need fast movements. Maybe people need micro movements, small movements. Again, what we want to develop in the nervous system is a broader range of experience. Remember how I talked about the repetitive movement? We get into this repetition kind of thing, and we do the same thing over and over again. So I want you to move out of that where the movements are changing. Maybe you do small movements here. Maybe you do bigger movements here. So in other words, you listen to your body. You listen to your body on what you need. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from the EyeClarity Podcast show today. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. See you here next time.